Are you ready?
Yep.
Alright. Hello and welcome to this block's episode of Cornell's Hidden Truths. We're in a super secret location where no one will find us. Because I don't trust the information I have.
Hey, are you talking to yourself again?
Mom, I'm recording a video!
Well, hurry up. Dinner's ready.
Hey. I'm here in an all-new top-secret location where I'm here to tell you something totally crazy. Cornell College is on top of an alien spaceship. I know. It sounds crazy, but hear me out. I have proof, alright? We're on top of a hill. Hills aren't natural. Hills don't just exist. That's ridiculous. You know what this hill is? A spaceship. An alien spaceship. Alright? It makes complete sense, alright? I guarantee if you go back to before Cornell was created, you'll see that aliens landed. And then the college happened, okay? It's crazy. Now, it barely snowed this winter before break. And that might honestly be a whole nother issue that I'm not covering because that's not a conspiracy. That is science. Save the earth. So it barely snowed before break, so I wasn't going to be able to get all the evidence that I was there to get, alright? But I was able to see that in front of the commons, there is a patch of sidewalk that never has snow on it. No. Watch this video. I'll show you. Do you see that? That's insane. It was early in the morning. There's no way that there's an explanation for that other than aliens, okay? Because I have a theory that is where the aliens enter their spaceship, alright? They go through that entrance in the commons to get to their spaceship. That's not all the facts. It's not all the facts, alright? It's even crazier. King Chapel? Listen to me on this one. King Chapel. You staying with me? Is a satellite. The highest man-made point in Iowa. Man-made, you may say? I think it's alien-made. And it only makes sense because aliens would want the highest point in Iowa if they land in Iowa to contact their home. Oh, it feels so good to say it out loud. Think about it. They just did a remodel on the bell tower of King Chapel. The bell rings now. What are they gonna send? What are the aliens going to send? I'm getting worked up, but there's more to this. There's so much more. So I started putting some of my thoughts together. I started putting little bits and little pieces together, and it makes sense. All right? All these weird all these weird things happening. Okay? Like a choir director who has magic? A theater professor who's a gremlin? An info desk can live forever. These aren't coincidences, and I can tell you this, there's more that I haven't dived into. But it all makes sense that they all are here because of this alien spaceship. There's some weird energy bringing them together. All right? And look, I'm not going to do an episode on an alien spaceship without providing you aliens. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. So I found some aliens. Hello, I'm here to interview you.
Interview me?
Yeah.
What's this about?
Oh, I'm just interviewing a few faculty, staff on campus, just getting to know them.
Okay.
All right, let me set up. That's right, the first alien I'm interviewing is John Harp, the Vice President of Student Affairs. Now you could look at me and say, conspiracy theorist. That's insane. That's crazy. Because John Harp is John Harp. There's no way he's an alien. He's one of the nicest guys on campus, and he cares so much about the students. Exactly! Think about it. Student life. Who are the students? Humans. What do aliens want to be? Humans. He just wants to blend in with the rest of us, and so what's the best way to do that? Be in charge of student life. Work right there with the students. He thinks he's so clever. All right? Now here's the other thing. All right? His office is right next to King Chapel. Now why would that... What? Who would have their office right next to King Chapel? All right? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, except for the fact that he's an alien. It makes perfect sense. Look at this interview, and I'll even show you. Hello. So I'm just gonna ask you a few questions, like I said. Just casual questions. Don't read into them. It's perfectly normal.
Okay.
The first question is, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Lancaster, South Carolina.
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Lancaster is a place that most people probably would go right past and not notice.
Interesting. So it's kind of a hidden little town.
It's sort of hidden. I think a lot of people there like to kind of lay low and stay off the radar.
Interesting. Just another casual question. What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is the Jimmy Stewart classic, It's a Wonderful Life. And probably, one of my favorite scenes there is when there's this big moon that is over the house, and they sing a song about the light of the moon.
Interesting. So you're drawn to the moon?
The moon is definitely a draw.
Does anything else in space give you a little tingle of wanting to look at?
Who wouldn't?
Naturally.
It's all up there. Everything is up there.
Everything is
Everything
up there.
is up there.
Interesting. Just a casual question. What do you think aliens look like?
What do I think they look like?
Or if you know what they look like, you can share that as well.
Sure, they look just like us.
Just like us.
Just like us.
That's an interesting. I've been getting that answer a lot lately. What would you call your, as the kids call it, mothership?
So what do I call?
Yeah, what do you call your mothership?
Yeah. Rendezvous.
Rendezvous.
Yes. Yes.
Interesting. Is there any specific meaning behind rendezvous?
Well, I'll leave some of that research to you, but I will give you a clue that it has to do with barbecue and bringing people together.
Interesting. Almost like a tractor beam might bring people to rendezvous?
Well, I couldn't go that far.
Okay. My last question. Do you ever want to quote unquote phone home?
I want to phone home frequently.
Interesting. Thank you for this interview.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Did you see that interview? That was ridiculous. It screams alien. Now listen here. He told me to do research. No one researches, okay? That's ridiculous. Humans don't research. We just listen to whatever people tell us and think it's true. Alright? Which means he has to be an alien if he thinks we research. Ridiculous. Also, his mothership is rendezvous seems a little sketchy to me, right? It's laid out there. I don't even think the state he said he was from is real. The only states that really exist are Iowa, Oklahoma, and Rhode Island. Besides that, it's just ridiculous, okay? There's no way that he is human. On to my second alien. That's right, I said second, and brace yourself, there's 3. The second alien that I interviewed was a man called Dan Chow. Dan Chow is the Assistant Director of Residence Life, the ADRL, if you will. Now here's another thing. Crazy. Do you notice a pattern? Residence Life? Who are the residents? But students. And who are the students? But human. Give or take. Now, isn't that interesting that 2 of the people I'm accusing of being aliens is 1, the vice presidents of Student Life, and the assistant director of Residence Life. Now, I don't think I'm a bright person, but I do know my conspiracies. And I do know that is a connection. Now, I had another interview with Dan, and this one got a little weird. So the first question I wanted to ask you is, where did you grow up?
Well, you know, classic American town in the prairie. Yeah. And yourself? Maybe you know where I grew up? Maybe you've heard of it? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Iowa.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with Iowa. Yeah.
It's where we are now.
Yes, I grew up in Iowa too.
Oh.
You know, classic American prairie town.
Okay. Yep. That's normal. What is your favorite movie?
Oh, you know, all the classics, the golden years of cinema. Maybe you've heard of some of them. What are your favorite movies?
Well, Dan, we're trying to keep it about you.
Sure, but I want to be as connected to you as I think a good interview has. You know, we have a good conversation.
How do you feel about, I don't know, the movie E.T.?
Ah yes, classic 1950s American cinema. I do enjoy the E.T. It is one of my favorites.
Okay.
Yes. Any others that you also like?
Yes. How do you feel about Independence Day?
Yes, Independence Day. I thought it was very exciting when everyone received independence on that day. A very classic cinema. I think it changed a lot of things for the movies in America.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you feel about the movie Home?
Oh, Home. I always feel that watching that classic American movie makes me nostalgic for when I used to be close to home, but now, having moved in another part of the state of Iowa, I'm not as close. So I do sometimes wish to go there. And that movie, I think, has a lot of those beautiful messages.
Yeah, okay. Alright. Dan, what what do you think aliens look like?
I have not ever seen one. Have you seen an alien?
I think I have, Dan.
And what kind of aliens have you seen? What do they look like?
Well, they look just like me
Oh, okay. Yes.
and other humans.
I think if I saw an alien, that would be probably what they look like.
Similar to you.
Well, like you and me. I think so, yes.
All right.
That makes sense to me.
Okay. Dan, what do you call your mothership?
My home?
Yes.
Yes. My home, not to be confused with what we just talked about, aliens, 'cause that is, of course, I have not seen those.
Now that's ridiculous.
Right, but my home or mothership, to be polite with your language, would be a land full of water and a beautiful scenery. When the sun sets, you can see it going beyond the horizon, and the colors ripple on the top of the water, and it's a beautiful scene, and that makes you feel like you're surrounded by liquidy happiness. But of course, that's just me imagining, reinterpreting my small Iowa town feeling in my own words, not to be taken literally, of course.
No, that's not at all literal.
No.
No.
Because I breathe air like you.
Yes, you clearly are breathing air right now.
I could not be
Dan.
underwater.
There is no way you have a water tank?
No. That would be strange. Normal Americans do not do that.
And we all know you're very normal, Dan. My last question, just a simple one. Do you ever wish to quote-unquote phone home?
Yes, I do frequently phone home. Yes, I like to speak to my family at home, and I find that connecting with them makes me feel more, as we mentioned earlier, as if I were there on the mothership, but of course, just trying to be polite with your own language, but that would be silly if that were the case, no. But yes, phoning home is very important. I get often lonely here on this side of Iowa, and it's nice to feel as if I'm back at hometown with the click of a computer.
Interesting. Well, Dan, thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you.
Do you notice how Dan never actually answered the question? Like, he was kind of just running in circles and asking me the question back. I wasn't the one being interviewed, he was the one being interviewed. So why is it that he wouldn't give me a straight answer? One might say it's because he doesn't have a straight answer. One might say that Dan is a young alien who just came on this planet recently and doesn't have his backstory fully fleshed out. One might say that. One could also say that Dan is a strategic mastermind and tried to blindside me and get me away from the truth. But me, being the best conspiracy theorist in the world, I dare say, caught on. Now here's the thing. Dan says, kind of going around everything, but he has such knowledge of movies. Every fact, true. Yeah, none of that was fake. That was all correct. I'm not going to research it because we know humans don't research. But, crazy. And now, for my third and final alien to be revealed. This one takes a little bit, it hits me close to home. The theater professor, Genevieve West, is in fact an alien. Saying it out loud was just so much for me. But it's true. Think about it. Think about it. It only makes sense. Aliens just want to blend in. Aliens just want to be like us. One might even say are the best actors out there. Now, isn't that interesting that the best actors in the galaxy are aliens? And what does Genevieve West teach? Theater. And what is involved in theater? Acting. Now, I don't think that's a coincidence. Do you? No. Now, this interview gets a little strange. And the tactics they use is unique. But I want you to see it first before I make a comment. Show the clip! Where did you grow up?
I grew up on a small farm outside of a small town in Kansas.
Kansas. That sounds real. What is your favorite movie?
I have a lot of favorite movies. I think the movie I always go back to is a movie called The Fisher King. It had Robin Williams in it, and I can't think of the other actors, but it's a beautiful, beautiful story that I think is filled with magic and hope and pain and sorrow and romance and love, and it's visually just stunning, and I think it really gave me the start to my career as a director.
Interesting. What do you think aliens look like?
You know, I think aliens, if they have the technology to come here, then they probably have the technology to look like whatever they'd like to look like.
Interesting.
I think the whole, what are the grays with the large eyes,
That's what we need.
I'm not certain that is what they would choose to look like. If they're really here to study us, they would probably have the ability to shape into a form where they could blend.
Interesting. So you're saying aliens could look just like you? Interesting. Along with that question, you were talking about technology, that if they might have technology to come here. Do you think aliens walk amongst us?
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. Probably
Just a hunch.
People who work with a lot of technology every day, like cameras and film and video, they would probably have a little bit more insight into technological advancements that aliens would have.
Just a casual question, no hitting meaning, you know. What would you call your mothership?
Why does it have to be a mothership?
Oh, you know, just that's what the kids are saying these days.
That's pre-binary. There.
What would you call your parentship? Is that better?
Parentage is a sticky topic. I suppose I would call it my house. I'm going to my house. I'm not letting you in my house.
No, naturally.
Yeah.
Privacy. And it's just my last question. Do you ever want to, quote unquote, phone home?
Phone home. I don't think that question was quite loud enough. Can you ask me one more time?
Yeah, of course I can.
Okay.
Do you ever want to, quote unquote, phone home?
What was that middle part again?
Quote unquote.
I mean, I call home.
Interesting.
I use what's that technology that you use to?
I'll be back.
I mean, what were you using the other day? And you had
My phone?
that is what. Is that what you use to call home?
I do call my mother every day on my phone, yeah.
Your mother ship.
Wes, I feel like you're accusing me of being an alien at this point.
Not
That any accusings of aliens is happening at any point.
Absolutely. Are we done here?
No, we're done. Thank you. They were accusing me of being the alien! What? That's the best acting I have ever seen. They were acting uncomfortable. They were acting scared, like I'm threatening. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, West. I see you. I see you. Look at me. I see you. Now, here's the thing. West is acting like I'm the alien. West is saying they don't know how to work technology, which honestly is true, but they don't know how to work human technology. It's crazy. Also, notice how, like, every single one of the people I interviewed said they came from a small town type neighborhood, some secluded away area. Well, if that isn't the perfect example of an alien, I don't know what is. Now, folks, I'm sorry to break this news, and it's terrifying, but I needed you to know it's true. Cornell College has aliens. Thank you.